Hi guys, so today's video is going to be another makeup tutorial. This time it's going to be kind of like a night out evening look. So a party look basically. So I'm really going to put my drama on for this look. It's going to be very intense, very smoky, very dark, a little bit edgy. But it's really kind of like the kind of look, you're not going to use it for date night. It's really more like to go out, to party, to just like a very intense look for kind of like evening-ish. Anyways, so keep watching to see the look.
The first product I'll be using is a paint pot by MAC, and I'm using soft ochre, which I'm going to apply all over my eyelid up until right under my eyebrows because I'm going to be applying eyeshadow pretty much everywhere I can apply it.
So using Blackout, I'm actually going to do a kind of like a cut crease thing with a smoky liner brush from Sephora. And this is actually a really tricky part because like black is so messy, so it's going to be really intense, really harsh, and like really easy to mess up. So if I do mess up, please forgive me because it's really hard to fix black.
As I had just mentioned, I'm going to be using Urban Decay Blackout with a smoky liner brush to go and create that cut crease effect. So with the liner brush, you're just going to do kind of like just like if you were using any regular eyeliner on your eyes, but instead of doing it right on your lash line, it's going to be right into your crease. I actually took this brush because I didn't want to have like a super harsh line. Even though I'm still going to blend it, I just wanted to start off from something that was going to be much smoother, although it can lead to messiness or mistakes, which I tend to do because I'm very clumsy, but I still feel like this is the best tool to actually do this cut crease line. Taking a blending brush, I'm just going to go ahead and blend the whole line because it's going to be easier if it's already pre-blended to just kind of put the other layers of eyeshadow without making it look too harsh and to kind of blend the whole thing together. Now taking an angle brush and my MAC Prep Fix in the color Lysithea by Nars, I'm just going to foil the eyeshadow, so it's a very silver eyeshadow. I'm going to spray my fixing spray on my brush, making it slightly wet before actually putting the eyeshadow on the brush. Then I'm going to tap it on like you just saw me doing right on my eyelid to have a much more intense pigment. Taking a dark gray color and a pointed crease brush, I'm taking Urban Decay's Desperation. This one I'm not going to use with the fixating spray because it's already a dark color. It's very messy, very pigmented, so I don't want to like add any intensity to the pigment. I just want it as it is, and I'm just going to dab it into my crease, just like you can see right now. Taking a short bristled smudge brush, basically, I'm going to use it to line my lower lash line because I find the shape and the length of the little hairs on the brush are just perfect for lining a lower lash line, and it gives you just like a really smudgy, smoky look. Now taking Zephyr, which is a white eyeshadow by Urban Decay, and a shader brush, I'm going to start by applying the white eyeshadow right on my brow bone just to kind of highlight the whole look. Then using the fixating spray again and the white shadow for more intensity, I'm going to apply it right into my inner corner and my tear duct. Now taking a blending brush, I'm going to just blend the whole look together, blend the whole thing, make everything smooth and much more pretty to look at basically. Now I'm going to take back my smoky liner brush with whatever's left of Blackout on it because I don't really feel like I need to reapply it, and just kind of perfect a little wing. Now taking an eyeliner, I'm going to use So Fine Tarte's Micro Liner from the new collection Tarte by the Sea. I forget what it is. I know something about the sea. Basically, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm voicing this over after doing the look, obviously. This really isn't my favorite liner, so I apologize for any like really huge mistakes I'm doing right now, and if my eyeliner isn't as good as it usually is. To be honest, I actually exchanged this liner and went back and just took Stila, the eyeliner from Stila back because I think it's all about the point, right? Because both have very thin points. It's really the length. The micro liner by Tarte has like a super short tip, making it, I find, in my opinion, really harder to manipulate. And I just looked like a clown every time I used it, so I returned it. Since I want more drama, I'm going to use Color & Contour's Black Eyeliner Pencil by Bordeaux Paris. And just use it inside my waterline, followed by my mascara, which is one of my favorites right now, MAC's False Lashes. And you can see right now that I'm trying to find a way, because I'm very clumsy. I mention this all the time. I always end up with mascara all over the place. So I'm trying this new technique here, which is pretty much going from side to side. Up till now, at least it's more effective to avoid any messiness, I find. But like for the result, I think it's the same thing. So the important is I'm not putting mascara all over my makeup now.
So you guys all know I'm not a huge a huge false lashes fan, but that's why, like, in a case like this, for like a very party look, I'm gonna go with something else, which is kind of like fiber mascara. So you just add it on top of your mascara to kind of make it look like super long for a more natural, dramatic effect.
The fiber mascara I'm using is Looky Eyes fiber mascara. So you have to start by applying the gel. After you apply the gel over your eyelashes, after you use your regular mascara, you just go ahead and take the fiber tube and put all those little fibers right on top of the gel, just like you're applying regular mascara, followed by another application of the gel to kind of set the whole thing in. I do realize that this is not the same look or result that you'll get with false lashes, but it's still something I find that is more natural. I'd rather rely on more thickness from a different mascara, which I'm trying to show right here, but it's really a subtle change. Now for my eyebrows, I'm going to be taking Brow Wiz by Anastasia Beverly Hills, in the color brunette, just to kind of outline my eyebrows. So I'm going to start by the inside, filling them in, and also defining their shape by tracing the contour of my eyebrows. And after everything is pretty much filled in, I'm just going to use the other end, which is a little brush, to blend the whole thing and make it look more natural. Now for highlight, I'm using Sephora's Brightening and Smoothing Concealer, and I'm just going to apply it everywhere I want to have a highlight effect. So basically the same as usual, so cheekbones, nose bridge, just in the little cupid's bow of the lips, chin, and cupid's bow of the forehead. Today I decided to do something new because I feel like I'm always using the same products, so you guys must be tired of me talking about them. I decided that I was going to blend with a beauty blender instead. I know it's not that much exciting, but it's pretty much more useful. And I apologize for the state of my beauty blender, but it is black and I'm blending colored, pretty much skin colored products, so it looks nasty, but I don't think it's possible to have a perfectly clean beauty blender at all times. I love my concealer brush, but I have to admit that the beauty blender really does have a more natural effect to it when you use it for blending, but I find that brushes tend to be a little bit more precise for tricky areas. Now, taking my Matchmaster Concealer by MAC in a double fiber brush, I'm going to go ahead and apply as a contour. It's the color number 5 because, well, you guys know I have a very light skin, and it's really tricky to find the right contour, especially for cream contour, because they're always too orange or really too dark, I find. This one is really good, even though it's a little bit orange, but I always use a powder to kind of like cool it down a bit after. To blend the contouring around my nose, I'm going to use my fingers, which I'm just going to kind of tap the product, because I don't have a brush that's actually thin enough to do a good job there, and I find that the finger, like using your finger, really works well for the contouring of the nose. Then for the rest of my face, like I mentioned earlier, I'm using my double fiber brush by MAC that gives a really nice airbrush finish, even though it's kind of like you need a lot of patience to blend the whole thing, because since it's a very fluffy brush, it's not really dense, it takes a while to blend the product properly. So I'm going to use that brush for pretty much the hollow of my cheeks, my jaw, and my forehead, which is where I applied the contouring. So there's really not much I have to say about the contouring, except you really want to follow a 3 shape, and for your forehead especially, you want to push everything into your hairline, jaw, like the hollow of the cheek. You really want to do as much of a straight line, and if you do blend, you have to blend upwards, never downwards. And those are basically basic stuff that we should know, all of us should know, because or else it's going to make us look like a makeup disaster. Once you are done with blending the creamy contour, this is where you're going to go, like take a powder. I'm taking Too Faced Milk Chocolate Soleil with my angled contour brush from Tarte and basically applying it right on top of where I previously applied contour, focusing on the hollow of the cheek because that's really the most flagrant place that you could look orange and you don't want that, but you still want to apply a little bit everywhere else that you've applied contour also, so the 3 shape. But yeah, a lot of bronzer on that contouring so that it doesn't look orange. Taking back my Sephora concealer, I'm going to just draw a straight line right under my contouring of my inner cheeks basically, because this is what's going to really define the sculpting of your face. It's going to make the contouring finish a little bit harsher, but that's really what you want because you don't want the contouring to go downwards, so it's really going to stop it in that straight line to cut your cheek in a very flattering, sculpting way. Now taking an angled blush brush, you can see it's super fluffy, it's not very dense, and Tarte's Blushing Bride blush. I'm going to go ahead and apply the blush on my cheeks. Using a very fluffy, not as dense brush is really going to give a more light application. It's not going to be super dense, not going to be super pigmented, and it helps you play and build the blush much more, I find. The finishing touch is going to be my Too Faced Candlelight Glow powder highlighter. And I'm going to use a highlighting brush, so a very small fluffy brush, to kind of apply the highlighting powder on top of not only my blush, but the previous cream highlighter. This is just going to be kind of a last touch, just a little bit more glow, basically, to make your face look really radiant, very light. The lipstick I'm going to take is Matte's Retro Matte Lipstick in the color Old Lady. So it's a very dark, very rich color. The little applicator is a little bit precise, so it helps out not having to use a lip brush. But it's really, really pigmented, and if you mess up, it's kind of hard to fix because it's really rich, and also because it's kind of like a lip stain. I find once it dries, it really doesn't transfer, and once it dries, it just doesn't budge. You're going to have to apply multiple coats because, like you can already see here, it's not a super even application, so I feel like I have to apply multiple times. Now taking Nars's Radiant Creamy Concealer and a little concealer brush, a flat one, I'm just going to go ahead and outline my lips with the concealers, always trying to go from my face basically towards my lips because I don't want to go the other way around, or else I might end up dragging lipstick into my face, and that's going to look like way funny and not what I want. Don't worry, I'm not going to leave it with those harsh concealer lines. I'm actually going to blend it, but not with brush. Rather, I'm going to blend it with my fingers a little bit later, precisely now, just to make everything flowy and not have those harsh concealer lines, which is going to make the whole thing look very silly if I don't fix. Just a last touch to add definition to my lips, I'm going to take my Face Cosmetics lip pencil and in the color Eggplant, just kind of outline the outside of my lips because this is the last little touch. It's going to add a bunch of like definition and outline my lips in a basically in a perfect way.
So that's all for my party look. You can see it's very dramatic. There's like a lot of liner, a lot of things going on, a lot of lips, a lot of contour. Everything is there, like it's full-on drama because this is what a party look should be actually, I find. Like this is the one time when you go out where you can just like be like, you know what, more is more. There is no less and more. More is more. Everything is done. You're all ready and you have like a gorgeous, super dramatic, intense look for a super intense and fun evening. And basically, I hope you guys like this video. And please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.